Yeah, please do meet founder and CEO of ClickBaitPays, the brilliant Dennis GERRON, from Texas, a Texan. But he is in this video explaining why ClickBaitPays is so sustainable. Listen carefully, because the stuff that he is explaining is brilliant. It will blow your hair back and knock your socks off for the next 50 generations. He truly created a platform for everyone. Young, old, poor, rich, doesn't matter. So my honor to introduce you to CEO and founder, the brilliant Dennis GERRON. Do keep your finger on the volume level, because my microphone will probably be how do you say it, softer. The video will probably be louder than my microphone. Enjoy and make this into your advantage.
So that's why in my head with math and subtraction, I'm like a calculator. So that's why in my head with math and subtraction, I'm like a calculator. I can look at math problems pretty quickly, and as long as I don't have any alphabet in them, I'm as good as anybody I know at figuring out math. So when these other pay-to-click programs launched, I looked at them and I said, that's not going to work. And, we're talking January, and I was like, either they're going to shut down real quick, or they're going to have to revamp their math or something. And those of you aware of what's going on in the pay-to-click community will recognize that played out, that they've had to shut down, to revamp, to try to regroup, to create other income streams and do different things to try to compensate for the bad math that they started with. And so I thought, well, I've been trying to figure out a solution so that I could recreate what I was doing 20 years ago with 12 Daily Pro. And these things are having a moment. So I know the math that works because I had studied 12 Daily Pro's math and used that a lot. I said, well, I know how to make one of these things work, and they're not doing it right, so I might as well start my own, and just rather than being mad about it, just take the bull by the horns and fix it myself. And so, so I did that and started talking to a private group that I have, about 400 people, and telling them what I was going to do and showing them the math that was wrong with the other programs and why they weren't going to work, and explaining the math of what I was going to do and why it would work. And so for 3 months, this group of 400 people was just biting at the bit for me to get this program built and get it launched, because they kept hearing about it, but I wasn't willing to launch it until we had all the problems worked out and all the kinks worked out. So we, first of all, created an admin team, and one of the first questions people usually come up with is, well, how are you going to avoid the same fate that happened to 12 Daily Pro when the government come in and shut you down? Several things from that. One is that we're paying people to click ads. It's not an investment. You don't get paid a percentage on the amount of money you put into it. You get paid to click ads. You're getting paid for a service. It's a very common model used all over the world, totally legal in almost every jurisdiction I'm aware of. So we're paying people to click on ads. Secondly, we know that no matter how good a job we do of staying within the parameters of the current laws and rules, that the U.S. government is notorious for moving the goalposts and changing the rules. So how do we avoid that? Well, we avoided that by incorporating in Panama, finding a Panamanian host to host the website, and finding some old friends of mine, family that I've known for about 21 years, that are expats living in Panama. So this program, the website is hosted in Panama, the company is registered in Panama, and the admin team is living in Panama. So we are totally Panamanian based. No references to the U.S. in any shape, fashion, or form. Panama does not tax cryptocurrency. Panama does not regulate cryptocurrency much at all. So by doing everything in cryptocurrency, we're not being taxed in Panama on the revenues. So also the rules are very lenient there in terms of what we can do. We don't have to pay taxes on any income in Panama that's not generated within Panama. And even then, because the income that we're generating is generated solely through cryptocurrency, there's no taxes on cryptocurrency in Panama. So we sort of, again, organically evolved to Panama based on several factors, and it's just wound up being the best possible scenario that we could have in every respect. So that's how ClickBaitPays evolved. Now, ClickBaitPays, people keep asking me if I'm the owner, and that gets complicated because I am the founder of the International Coalition for Economic Development, ICE for short. I founded that as a way to do what I was doing back with the visually impaired and blind people on an international level so that we're able to help people all over the world who need income regardless of whether they have a disability or not. And so the International Coalition for Economic Development was basically taking what I learned about using economic development to solve problems worldwide. And so through ICE, the plan has always been to create different ways for people to make money. And one of the things that I was adamant about when I created ClickBaitPays was I wanted a way for people with no money to make money. So people can join free and earn 10% referral fees on their referrals clicks. You're not getting paid for referring anybody, but if you refer somebody and they purchase an ad campaign and they start clicking daily to make money, you're going to earn 10% for every click they do daily. That money is available to withdraw immediately. It goes immediately into your available balance, and you're able to withdraw that money.